Welcome students. In this session, we shall see certain terminologies or definitions that are very important in the study of nutrition and dietetics, particularly food science. Let us see the definitions one by one. In this section, we will be seeing about a few definitions which will be commonly used during the course of the study. What are foods? We have been consuming food right from our birth till today. We have been consuming several different types of food. And to define, food is any material which can be in the form of a solid or a liquid. We consume solid food in the form of rice or dosa or idli. We consume solid food. And we also consume liquid foods in the form of milk, coffee, juice. They're all the liquid foods. These foods are consumed, and when they enter the digestive tract, that when they enter the digestive system, these food, they are digested and are utilized for different important functions. What are those functions that are performed by the food? The important function that the food performs is they help to build the body tissues, and it helps to maintain and build body tissues. The meaning of this is they help in the growth of the individual. And the growth of the individual means the increase in the height of the individual and the increase in the weight of the individual. All of us know that when we were born as a child, the birth weight of the child would be around 2.5 to 3 kilograms. And as we grow, when we go to school and now we have come to the college, the weight of that child has increased. And now the weight of yourself would be around 35 or 40 or 45 kilograms. From the 3 kg of weight to this 40 kilogram of weight, how was it possible? The gain in weight was because of growth. And the growth has taken place due to building of the body tissues, the growth of the skeleton, and then the tissue formation. All these helps to increase in the height and the weight of the individual, and this we called as building of the body, growth or building of the body tissues. The next important function that the food perform is it regulates the body processes. The body processes are those functions that are regularly taking place in the body. The physiological functions that are carried out in the body, like the respiration, circulation, digestion, excretion, all these are the body processes. And all these body processes, when you have to respire, when you have to excrete the waste products that are formed in the body, everything requires energy. And many of the functions are dependent upon the nutrients. For certain functions, we require hormones. Sometimes we require enzymes. These enzymes and hormones are nothing but proteins. So, for all the body functions, nutrients are very important. And all the body functions can take place only in the presence of adequate nutrients. So, nutrients or food are required to regulate the different body processes. And it is also required to supply heat. Our body has a constant temperature. All of us know there is a constant temperature for our body, which is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. The environmental temperature may be high or low. In summer, the environmental temperature may be high. And in winter or in the cold season, the environmental temperature may be less. But our body temperature is maintained at a constant level at 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. This is possible because there is a thermoregulatory process present in our body. This thermoregulatory process will help to maintain the body temperature. Irrespective of whether the environmental temperature is less or more, our body temperature will be maintained at a constant level. And therefore, this maintenance of the body temperature requires nutrients. Energy is being constantly produced due to the metabolic processes that are possible because of the supply of nutrients from the food. And therefore, food helps to supply heat in the body, and thereby it is required for sustaining the life. If you have to live, if you have to be alive, we require food. So it is required for maintaining all the body processes and also to be alive. Food is composed of different types of compounds, and they may be either organic or inorganic. They can be composed of organic compounds or the inorganic compounds like sodium, chloride, or potassium. So food means it can be a solid or liquid, and this, when digested, will help in building of the body tissues, regulate the body processes. It will also supply heat to the body, and thereby it will help in sustaining the life. And food is composed of both organic as well as inorganic compounds. Let us now see what food science is. Food science is the science of food, and it can be defined as the application of basic science and engineering to study the fundamental physical, chemical, and biochemical nature of food. So, there are two branches in food science. One, it is considered as a basic science like the chemistry or physics, and it also has another dimension where there is application of engineering to study the physical properties of the food. What are the physical properties of food? Whether the food is a solid or liquid or a semi-solid, whether the food is soft or hard, the texture of the food, the consistency of the food is the physical aspect of the food. And the chemical aspect. The chemical aspect is whether it is an organic compound or an inorganic compound is the chemical aspect of the food. And also the biochemical nature. The biochemical nature is the different types of nutrients that are present in the food. Food contains different types of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. So the biochemical nature of food and the principle of processing. So it does not end there. It also involves the principle of processing the food. The processing means when a particular type of food is converted into a different form. For example, wheat can be converted into wheat flour. Wheat can be further converted into different wheat products such as refined wheat flour, which is nothing but maida, and semolina, nothing but rava, and also vermicelli. Vermicelli is the semia which we use. So these are all derived from the wheat flour, and the wheat flour has been obtained from wheat. So when wheat is processed, we get different types of products from wheat. Similarly, rice can also be processed into different products. From rice, we can get rice flour. We can also get the broken rice, the different types of rice flakes, aval, and also the puffed rice, pori. These are all obtained from rice. So, it is the study of basic science and also engineering which involves the study of the physical nature of the food, chemical nature of the food, the biochemical nature of the food, and also what are the principles that are used in processing the food. Say, for example, from the wheat flour, we can also get other products such as vermicelli, noodles, pasta, macaroni, spaghetti. So these are all the various products that are obtained from the wheat flour, and there the processing involves the engineering aspect because we require different types of equipments, machineries for the processing of such products. What are nutrients? Nutrients are the chemical substances present in the food. The chemical substances that are present in the food are not called as chemicals, but they are called as the nutrients because they nourish our body. They are called as the nutrients. And it functions in three different ways. The functions that the nutrient perform in our body are: it helps in the growth of the human being, it helps in the maintenance of the body processes, and it provides resistance against diseases. Growth of the individual. What does that mean? Growth means the increase in the height and the weight of the individual is called as growth. And this growth is brought about only by the help of the nutrients that are present in the food. This is the first and the most important function of the nutrient. It is promoting growth. The second function that the nutrient perform is the maintenance of the body processes. It helps in all the physiological mechanism. It helps in all the processes that are taking place in our body, all the activities that are taking place in the body. So that is maintenance of the body processes. And the most important is the resistance against disease. It also offers resistance against disease. It is protective in nature. It helps us to fight the microorganisms. All of us know that the microorganisms are omnipresent. They are present everywhere, in the air, in the soil, on the clothes, even on our body, the microorganisms are present. These microorganisms, some of them are good and most of them are bad. So the bad microorganisms may cause diseases, and it can also cause infections in the human being. And if we have to fight against these microorganisms, our body should be capable of producing certain protective material that can destroy the microorganisms. Our body produces protective material in different forms. The WBCs helps in the protective mechanism. The immunoglobulins that are present, the B cells, the T cells that are present in our body helps to fight the infections. They have the capacity to destroy the microorganisms, and thereby they help to protect our body. They act as a defense mechanism in the body. So, to provide resistance against disease, nutrients are required. Our body should have a sufficient supply of nutrients so that all these particles are produced in our body, which can be capable of destroying the microorganism if they enter our body. So what are they? The nutrients are the carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. These are the different nutrients that are present in the food that are offering very important functions such as growth, maintenance of the body processes, and resistance against diseases. A balanced diet is one which contains different types of food like the cereals, pulses, vegetables in appropriate quantities and proportion so that the nutritional requirements are adequately met, and also a small provision is made for extra nutrients to withstand short duration of illness. So to say simply, a balanced diet is one which should provide nutrients in proper quantity and quality. There are two aspects in this. One is the quantity. Quantity means each individual require certain amount of nutrients. The amount of energy required by a small baby and the amount of energy required by a adolescent boy or girl and the energy that is required by an adult, they vary. The child may require less amount of energy and the adult will require more amount of energy. Similarly, based upon whether they are a man or a woman, the amount of nutrients will vary. So that is the quantity. This quantity of nutrients supplied should be sufficient for that particular individual. And what is quality? Quality means whatever nutrient you supply, that nutrient should be optimally utilized by the individual. So that is the quality. And how can we get or how can we design or plan a balanced diet? A balanced diet can be planned when we incorporate different types of food into the meal. When we prepare a meal, when we just consume rice alone, you will not get all the nutrients. Or when you consume dal alone, you will not get all the nutrients. There should be a combination of food in the preparation of a meal. Only when there is a combination of food, you will get all the nutrients that are required by the body. And now the question arises, are we consuming a balanced diet? If I ask this question in the classroom, usually children will say that they don't consume a balanced diet. And we should know what a balanced diet is, first of all, to understand whether we are consuming a balanced diet. So, to understand the planning of a balanced diet, we should know that the food is grouped into 5 different types based upon the nutrients that are present in the food. We consume thousands of food each day, and these foods are classified by the Indian Council of Medical Research into 5 different types, namely cereal and cereal products, pulses and legumes, milk and meat products, vegetables and fruits, and fats and sugars. These are the basic 5 food groups. If we incorporate all these basic 5 food groups in the meal plan, then that will become a balanced diet, right? So say for example, in the morning, if you consume idli with say brinjal sambar and coriander chutney, and if you also have a glass of milk, it will have all the 5 food groups. The idli will have cereals, which is the first group, and we add black gram dal in the preparation of idli, ulundu, that belongs to the second group. In the third food group, it is the milk and the meat products. If you consume milk, coffee or tea, then the third food group comes in. And you have consumed brinjal sambar, so we have vegetable there. So that is the fourth food group. And also we have added pulses, dal to the sambar. So that is the second food group. And to the milk, coffee or tea, you add sugar, that belongs to the fifth food group. And in the preparation of the chutney as well as the sambar, you add the seasoning where you incorporate the oil. So all the 5 food groups are there. Most of our traditional food is balanced. The dosa and the sambar we consume, and the pongal and the sambar which you consume, they're all balanced. The lunch which we consume, rice, sambar, green leafy vegetable, some poriyal or kutu, it is a balanced diet. So, but now we have slowly come away from that. We have started eating fast foods. We have started eating pizzas, burgers, and all the different type of Western food we have started consuming, which is not at all balanced. Therefore, our traditional diet, which uses all the basic 5 food group is a balanced diet. And you should know how to eat a balanced diet. You should know to analyze whether you are eating a balanced diet. The most favorite food that you may consume may be puri and the potato kurma which you consume. Puri and potatoes. So it is full of energy. Puri, first food group, and potatoes, full of carbohydrate, but they belong to the fourth food group. Puris have been fried in oil, so we have the fifth food group. So we don't have the fourth food group, which are going to provide the vitamins and minerals. Of course, the potatoes are there, but they are starchy in nature, right? So, and also we don't have the important vitamins and minerals in this particular diet. So how can we convert this puri into a balanced diet? To convert the puri into a balanced diet, along with puri, the side dish or the accompaniment for the puri, you should not choose potato kurma, but instead you can choose a mixed vegetable kurma, or you can choose a peas kurma or a paneer kurma, right? So that there will be addition of protein to the diet. So consumption of puri with channa, a glass of juice, and or a glass of milkshake will become a balanced diet. So you should know how to convert the daily regular meal into a balanced diet, which can be done by incorporating the 5 food groups. Have in mind that when you incorporate the 5 food groups, the diet will become a balanced diet and it will provide the nutrients in proper quantity and quality. This is called as the balanced diet.